Appreciate y'all joining me. So, got some interesting news today, and I want to know if you remember, or you might or might, depending on how old you are, right? You might or might not. If you're 40 or right around there like I am, you'll definitely remember this device now. If you're, I don't know, 20, 25, probably won't. So, back in the day, when, let's see, when would this be? So, if this was 10 years ago, so well, I guess the Samsung, it would be like the S7. And we're talking about iPhone 7, 2, I think. There was obviously at that point in time two major operating systems. You had iPhone and you had iOS. Oh, excuse me. You had Android and you had iOS. So you had Windows Mobile, it's kind of phasing out. You had iOS and you had Android. Now, there was another player that wanted to enter the market. And it came with a lot of skepticism, but excitement as well, right? Because the more options we have, the better. But Amazon attempted to put out a smartphone. I think right around 2015, something like that, 2016. Do you remember that? Now, it was running a version of Android called Fire OS. So it was basically running sort of on the same operating system that their TVs and their Android, their Amazon, what do they have? The boxes or Amazon, the little Amazon streaming sticks, the Fire Stick. That used they actually made the switch away from AOSP base stock Android, because so they would typically do what Samsung does, what OnePlus does. They get the AOSP code, and then they throw in all their proprietary apps and whatever they want in there. So we got word today that Amazon is going to reattempt to bring a smartphone to the market. And it has me kind of, we'll see where this goes. Now, this is going to be very interesting. As you know, entering the smartphone market is not easy. It's dominated by Apple and Samsung. It's dominated by Apple and Samsung. It goes to show you how impressive it is for nothing to uh, where they're at this point, because everything is stacked. The cards are stacked against you when you enter this market. It is, especially in the United States, it is so hard to penetrate the smartphone market and try and gain attention, even gain, let alone sales, right? Now, we don't know what this phone is going to be about. So I'm going to pull up this article. 9 to 5 Mac. So Amazon's developing a Fire phone successor to take on iPhone with Alexa AI focus. To take on iPhone? Dun dun dun. Whoa. Those are some big ambitions. Now, if anybody can do it, it helps to be essentially a top 5 company in the world, right? Amazon is up there with Apple, Google, um, Nvidia, right? I mean, it's up there. They have, I think they hit a trillion. Oh yeah, they definitely had, I think, $1 trillion company, but they got more money than God, right? Um, so, they're gonna have to be very, very strategic with their moves, who they hire, the design, what it looks like, the operating system, how they market this thing. This is not going to be easy. Now, it's essentially they're being set up to fail. Let's be honest. Like, the cards are stacked against them. And what are they going to do for operating system? Because they dropped Android. They stopped using the Google ASOP code. And is this going to be an AI only phone? dare I say, what cameras is it going to have? Like, what price point are they going to put it at? I have no clue. Now, I don't think it's smart for them to enter the flagship market. It's my opinion, it's too hard. It's too hard. I think the price point that they're going to shoot for is sort of like around the nothing phone for a pro, where, you know, probably $499, $599, something like that. Where, because if they're going to enter the market, the flagship market, that's, damn it, that's almost impossible, right? Let's see here. So, what do we know about this phone? After getting burned by the Fire Phone 2014, Amazon's reportedly developing a new iPhone competitor. For the current decade, the company's revitalized hardware division is taking inspiration from Alexa instead of 3D this time around. So what the hell is 3D? Let's see. So here's a statement they put out. Hang on one second. I told y'all. So here's a statement they put out. The latest effort, known internally as Transformer, is being developed within its devices and services unit. According to 4 people familiar with the matter, the phone is seen as a potential mobile personalization device that can sync with home voice assistant Alexa and serve as a conduit to Amazon customers throughout the day, the people said. Well, is this going to be a traditional phone, or is this going to be like an AI assistant? Like, look, I don't think AI, I think the way these companies think of AI is not how we, the public, perceive AI. Like, I think I'm generally the average person when it comes to AI, right? Like, I may edit, and I'll probably do a little bit more than the typical person, because I use some for like my thumbnails and, you know, stuff like that for YouTube. I think the average person might give a little AI twist to a photo, then send it to their, I don't know, girlfriend or boyfriend, or we don't use a lot of AI like these companies think we do. I mean, everybody I know that I can think of in my head, family, friends, acquaintances, online friends, YouTube friends, we're not like heavy AI users. So this is going to be an AI based phone. So I'm assuming it's a traditional phone where you go to your carrier, eSIM, SIM card, mobile carrier services, call, text, all that stuff. It'll probably have it'd have an operating system, but I think it's going to have a traditional operating system. I just don't know if it's going to be Android based. Now, from them moving their TVs and their Fire Sticks away from Android, I am anticipating Amazon to not use Android for this phone. Now, I think that's their first mistake, because with this AI phone, it's going to be linked to Alexa, and it's going to, you can order this tracking card just by your voice, by telling Alexa, "Hey Alexa, order me a tracking card, the Spot Menders tracking card." Boom, and it shows them on your doorstep tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. I can do that now with my phone. Like why would I buy this phone over an iPhone or over the latest Pixel, right? Like, okay. But I think their first mistake is not using Android. It's so hard, especially if you have your own operating system. It's basically doomed the day they launch it. I'm sorry. Now, maybe I'll be wrong, but I don't see this going anywhere. And I think they need to hire people like me or you in these departments to tell them this. Like, I think some of these companies have these, like Amazon, for example, have this great idea. They're sitting around in a boardroom and they're thinking, you know what? why don't we bring the Amazon the Fire phone back? And you have Jeff, well, I guess Jeff Bezos is not there anymore, but whatever the new CEO, yeah, we might do that. Go ahead and look into that. And they get this project put together, and they give him this whole presentation to make it look grand. And he's like, yeah, do it. I I don't know. I think they're set up to fail. Um, this thing is going to be heavy. Yes, thank you. It's probably going to be heavy ads. Look, Amazon's in business to make money. So they're going to be pushing their services, they're going to be pushing their products, probably lock screen ads, I'm not going to lie. So this initiative is the newest chapter in a years-long effort to bring to market Jeff Bezos' long-held vision of a ubiquitous, voice-driven computing assistant akin to the voice-controlled computer and science fiction series Star Trek. Bezos had envisioned a smartphone that had shopping at its core and could take on Apple by offering shipping convenience and discounts throughout the Prime membership. Along the way, Amazon could gain a wealth of new data about users only available through mobile phones, combined with purchase history and content preferences. Well, you know what that's called? It's called Amazon. They already have an app for that. Did they forget that? Because whenever I need to buy something, I just go on the app and order it, and it shows up at my doorstep. So I don't know how they could implement that more into a mobile experience. Again, like, I get they have this big grand idea, and I don't mean to burst their bubble, and I think I added Amazon in the video description. So I'm sure after watching this, they're not going to be sending a phone to review. And you know what? I might actually just buy it with my own money and review it, because I don't. Look, I'm going to hold judgment until we see more details, because we don't know what processor it's going to have. We honestly don't know if it's going to be running Android, although I think if they did not run Android, if it runs some, whatever they call it now, that's literally Amazon source code, it's going to fail from launch. Like, let's just be honest. But we don't know what size display. We don't know what cameras. We don't know the battery. Can you put ESPN app on there? I know the Amazon has their own app store, but come on, let's be real. Like, nobody's going to buy this. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some, but I don't know why these companies waste money like this. It's just, I get that idea, right? But like, if you're not going to do it right, why do it at all? And I don't understand why, if they have some proprietary operating system or they have something shitty on it, like, why even go down this route again, right? You've already failed once. Don't go down that same road doing the same thing. You need to give users something that they want, something different, right? That's why I love Nothing. Great looking phones. It's a joy to use, right? And look, I know that Nothing doesn't have the very best cameras, and I'm okay with that, right? It's a trade-off, right? No phone's perfect. I say that in all my videos. Now, I'm sure this Amazon phone's going to be far from perfect, but I just think as a company, they don't give this a chance if they don't do it right out the gate. So there's not much content on what does this say? Hang on. As envisioned, the new phone's personalization features would make buying from Amazon, watching Prime Video, listening to Prime Music, or ordering food from partners like Grubhub easier than ever. They asked for anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss internal matters. Let's see here. I also heard, do you remember that story? It was about a year ago, where Amazon is going to offer wireless service. So I think Amazon actually purchased a wireless, like an old fading wireless services. So I wouldn't be surprised if they bundle this phone with wireless service. Like you buy your cell phone from Amazon and you buy, I guess, an eSIM or a physical SIM from Amazon. Let's see here. Amazon purchased wireless carrier. Let's go to new. Amazon. Okay, Amazon has not purchased a major U.S. wireless carrier, but it has explored partnerships to act as an MVNO. Well, that's what I meant. To offer low cost or free mobile service with Prime members. While they have not bought a carrier, they acquired Wi-Fi mesh company Eero. Hang on a second. Amazon has held discussions with. They were rumored to purchase Boost Mobile. That's what it was. Okay. So they were in the bidding to buy Boost Mobile. Dish won. That's what it was. Dish won the bid, so they acquired Boost Mobile. But I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon has got it in their head. You know, I'm sure they might buy a wireless carrier, or they might start their own MVNO. They don't have to buy a wireless carrier. They can just start an MVNO themselves, which they might do, and package this all together with this new Amazon Fire Phone and bring it to the market. But to this point, let's see here. I really don't see anything that would pull people away from an iPhone or an Android. I just don't. I think they're wasting money, honestly. Who's going to buy this? Not, I'll say not me, but I might buy it to review it, but even that's a stretch. Even that's a stretch.